What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to be breaking down a blitz that the pro circuit is spamming left and right now in Madden 24. This is probably the most effective A-gap pressure that you guys are going to find in the game right now, and it's out of the $3.2. The best part about this particular A-gap is that it is going to be something you guys can mix up your coverage behind pretty effectively, and it only rushes 4. It's a relatively easy setup as well, and it is actually pretty difficult to block as it pertains how to slide protect and ID the mic. Now, if you guys are looking for the whole story on that in terms of countering this, make sure you guys head over to my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. We've got over 100 vault tips already on the website. We got countless offensive and defensive game plans that you guys get all-inclusive access towards, and you guys can join our Discord community with over 2,000 Gridiron Game Plans members, where we have our lab sessions weekly as well, and you guys can ask us anything about the game to help you improve over the course of the year. Now let's go ahead and get into the setup for today's video. In terms of what the coach settings are with this, kind of up to you. I would recommend maybe going base align just to avoid any coverage tells that might exist in one play versus another. But outside of that, it's not going to really be too hard to set up. You could run match with this if you wanted to run the cover 6 play in dollar, or you guys can set zone drops if you guys are fans of the 30 and the 5 setup. A lot of players love their Mabel. So let's go ahead and get right into the setup with this. We're going to pinch our defensive line. We are going to crash them out. We are going to blitz the left of screen linebacker, which is X or square if you guys are quick linking on PlayStation or Xbox, and you're going to shift your linebackers over. Now, this is the important part. You see how Luke Kuechly's blitz angle switched over to the right A gap? That is not something that we want. What we actually want out of this is the left A gap. So if you just kind of move him just a little bit, you see that he switches over to the left A gap. Now, from there, you are going to user one of 2 players on the field. You are either going to utilize the slot corner that is on the left, or you are going to utilize the safety that is on the left. With this player, you are going to want to get the attention of the offensive guard. What a lot of the pro players are doing out there is they are going to basically take their user and blitz them, and that's going to really help get that left tackle to kind of look at us. Now, from there, in terms of your coverage setup, like I said, it's kind of up to you. If you guys want to set up your Mabel coverage calls, feel free to go ahead and do so. You see right here, I could go ahead and play basically the short flat on the left side. I've got a 30-yard blue to the left, a deep half over the top. If you guys want to rotate your coverage and kind of close center field like this, feel free. You would obviously guard the left flat in this defense as well. Do whatever you want in terms of how you want to set this up. But the key to this will be the A-gap pressure that comes in. As you see right there, we occupy the left side of the line. They kind of look out at us, and that allows Luke Kuechly to pop in unblocked for the sack. You see right here, look specifically at how the left of the line is occupied by our defensive end, as well as the user with the blue circle under them. We control the center with our nose tackle, and you see that the right guard can't help out, and Luke is able to fly in untouched. Now, as it pertains the consistency of your blitz setups, I would like to kind of introduce to you guys a concept that I think a lot of you may not know, but that is the concept of traits as it pertains your pass rushers. When it comes to this type of defense, you actually want to target players that are blitzing into these gaps that do not have pass rush traits. If we were to take a look right here, I've got Patrick Willis over on the right side. He's gonna have all the pass rush traits. And this is an item that typically, if you guys are going to blitz them, it will have a tendency to kind of try to engage with an offensive lineman so they can actually perform one of those moves, whether it is a spin, a swim, or a bull rush move. Whereas the other player that you might want to utilize is someone that would not have pass rushing traits. In fact, Luke Kuechly does not, and that's the reason he's going to hit those gaps a little cleanly. Now, for the rest of you, you guys are probably going to say, well, we could just put safeties in linebacker, and that would be a wise choice because a lot of times those safety items don't have pass rush traits either. So if you want to put in a guy who has a little bit smaller build, you know, isn't as wide as a linebacker might, you guys may wish to utilize a player like Paul Krause or some sort of other safety that can do this as well. So let's go ahead and put this out there on the field. I'm going to run, in this example, we'll go ahead and run a little cover 6. And we'll run some match on this. So let's go ahead and flip this play. It doesn't matter what direction you flip the plays, obviously, as well. You see right here, we're going to have match on the right side of the field. Again, the concept is to crash up. you're going to want to make sure that your A gap rusher is going to the left, and you're going to want to come down here with your user to kind of occupy. And you're going to see here that that's going to open up that A gap, and he's going to come in very, very cleanly. Now, what I want to try to do here in this example is try to illustrate what happens when you put traits into this position. Note that I said sometimes they will have a tendency to engage. It doesn't mean all the time. In fact, if you guys can get a guy that comes in every time and they have pass rush traits, who am I to argue with you? I'm just trying to let you guys know from experience, this isn't the first loop blitz or gap blitz meta that's occurred in Madden history. This is going to be one that you may notice a little bit better success with certain items over another, whereas maybe somebody you watch on stream has better success with a different player that you struggle with. It's all going to kind of differ, but you see right here, here's Willis. He's got the pass rush traits. A lot of this comes down to your ability to kind of occupy the line. You see right there, I do want to say that we actually did have the blitz angle correct right there, and he kind of just went out of his way to go to a different gap, but I'll run that again here. So let's go ahead and move him. You see right here, he's in that left A gap. I'm going to come down here, kind of occupy. And right there, it was okay. And I'm not going to apologize for getting pressure. I'm just here to tell you that in my experience, you will typically notice that the players that will like purposefully run into players and try to do a bull rush move, it comes down to traits. They want to play those moves. And you see right there, that's kind of what we get right there. He is like running into a player. It targets differently. I'm actually a big believer as well in when you guys are setting up blitzes where guys are going to come free, try to avoid putting players that have pass rush abilities at those spots, or if they're an X Factor rusher that has their X Factor glowing, a lot of times they will not operate the same on your blitz as if they weren't glowing. So there's a lot of little things that can kind of contribute to this being more or less effective in this case. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below as well. Again, if you guys struggle to block this meta, it's not the hardest thing to block, but it can be a pain in some games, especially when you're facing someone who mixes in the slot corners blitzing on this to kind of make this even better. I actually have the blitz formula pickup over on Gridiron Game Plans. Go check it out. You guys are going to unlock everything on the website for just $9.95. I promise you won't be disappointed with your time over there on the website. Otherwise, I will see you guys later this afternoon with our next YouTube short, or tomorrow with our next long form video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.